how turkeys behave is going to help you have a better hunt. Early in the morning, the tom is going to gobble on the roost to help the hens know where he is located. He is going to fly down, generally to a top of a ridge or out into a field. From there, he will continue to gobble to try and assemble the hens in the area. If no hens show up, he's going to go off and actively pursue other hens.
Into the morning, those toms are going to be locked into those hens. And those hens are going to dictate the movement of the flock. Now, most of those hens are going to be feeding. The receptive ones will be breeding as well, but those toms are going to be spitting and drumming for the ladies. Now, if you're fortunate enough to find some toms still searching, that can be a great time to call them in.
During mid-morning to midday, the hens are going to go off to lay their eggs or go sit on their nests. The toms, having lost their hens, are going to go out and actively pursue other hens that might be receptive, or they may go out and feed.
From the middle of the day on, turkey activity can sometimes slow down as the turkeys loaf. Now, towards the evening, they pick up feeding again, and oftentimes those toms will follow those hens back to the roost area before they fly up for the night. To help focus your scouting, you'll need to know the spots that turkeys like to use in the springtime. Turkeys need roost sites, strutting areas, places to feed, as well as the hens need nesting sites, and they all need travel routes to get to those spots.
Roost sites are trees that can hold a turkey, provide protection from wind or rain, and are often located on slopes.
Strutting areas are open areas that toms can be seen by the hens. They can include pastures, fields, even just openings in the woods. Usually they're away from major human traffic, and they can change due to the season or hunting pressure.
Feeding areas are anywhere turkeys can find food, generally pastures or croplands. They generally eat waste grain, small bugs, and new plants.
Travel routes provide easy and safe access to roost, strutting, and feeding areas. They're usually clear of thick vegetation that might hide predators, and they can change as spring plants grow.
Turkey sign can tell you where and when the birds are using the area. Sometimes it will tell you the gender of the bird.
Turkey sign can include tracks and strutting marks, feathers, scat or droppings, scratchings, dusting sites, and even sounds.
During the preseason, look for signs to give you an idea where turkeys can be found for your hunt. Listen for turkey sounds before sunrise to confirm a good hunting spot.
During the hunting season, you're going to want to keep a mental record of all the fresh sign you find, as well as keeping your ears open for turkey sounds beyond just gobbles.
Turkeys use more than 20 different sounds to communicate. Changes in their rhythm and their sound indicate their mood and level of excitement.
The vocalizations most associated with the spring are the gobble and the spit and drum of the tom. In the springtime, hunters commonly use the calls of the hen turkey, such as the yelp, the where are you call, the cluck, the attention getter, purr, which is a sound of contentment, and the cut, or the call of excitement. Slate style calls make wonderful turkey calls because they're easy to operate, easy to find, and there's several different varieties available. They're great for making yelps, cuts, as well as wonderful purrs. They take a striker, move it across a flat surface to make the turkey noise.
To use a slate call, hold the surface in your offhand. Hold the striker similar to a pen in your strong hand. Place the striker on the flat surface, slightly pointing away from you, and drag the striker over the flat surface. To make a yelp, make tight circles with the striker. For a cluck, pop the striker across the flat surface in a quick, short line. For a purr, drag the striker slowly in a straight line across the flat surface. And for the cut, pop the striker in several quick, short, straight lines across the surface, adding a little pressure.
Some tips for maintaining your slate call. One is to use a Brillo pad to rough up the surface of the call as well as the striker itself. Make sure you keep that call dry when you're in the field, and the use of different types of strikers will give you different tones on your call.
With several varieties available, the box call is relatively easy to learn and use. It's great for yelps and clucks. You simply move the lid across the box.
To use the box call, hold the box or main part of the call in your offhand while grasping the end of the lid with your strong hand, and slowly drag that lid across the side of the box. To make the yelp, move the lid in one smooth motion across the side of the box. To make a cluck, drag the lid in short, fast motions. For the purr, drag the lid in one smooth, slow motion. To make a cut, place the box thumb on a slightly opened lid to add pressure, and then bump the lid with your other hand several times quickly.
Some tips: keep the lid and the walls well chalked, keep your caul dry, place a cloth between the lid and the box, rubber band it together to keep it quiet while walking. The hands-free mouth call is easy to find, is air-operated, and makes all the sounds of the wild turkey.
To use the mouth call does take some practice, but basically you put that call on the top of your mouth, supported with the back of your tongue, and then blow air between your tongue and the top of your mouth. With the mouth call, to make a yelp, blow while saying the word shuck. To make a cluck, blow while saying the word pip. To make a purr, gargle with the back of your throat. And to cut, blow while saying the word pick several times with force.
Some care tips for your mouth calls: rinse after each use, store in the refrigerator, and occasionally soak in a mouthwash.
Most hunters start with the shotgun, 12 and 20 gauge being the most popular, with a tight choke to throw a dense pattern, and either dull in color or with a camouflage finish.
Just a few tips: a sling on your gun can help make your trip out into the field a little bit easier when you're hauling all that gear out with you. Also, some people prefer to put fiber optic sights on their gun to help with aiming.
Shot shells used for turkey hunting have a lot of powder and a lot of shot. Common shot sizes include number 6, 5, and 4.
Patterning will help you figure out what shells work best in your gun. It'll help you know if you shoot to the right, to the left, high or low, so that you can compensate.
When shooting at a turkey, aim where the feathers meet the neck and be sure of what is beyond your target. Decoys can help you seal the deal by enticing the birds closer, also gives them something to focus on other than you.
There are many types of decoys to choose from: hens, jakes, toms, and many positions: alert, feeding, and strutting. Place the jakes away from you to challenge the toms and bring them in. Face hens towards you to bring them in closer.
When you hunt with decoys, try to get them 15 to 20 yards out in front of you to help set the scene. Try to get some movement in those decoys as well. Remember, face the hens toward you and the jakes away.
Turkeys have great eyesight and can see in color, so that makes camo great for helping break up the human form. But remember, camo doesn't hide your movement.
Camo comes in lots of different patterns to match the habitats that turkeys live in, which helps the hunter blend in a variety of situations, but earthy tones can work as well.
Blinds are great for hunting with other people, and it helps you to be able to be more comfortable so that you can hunt longer, and great for bow hunters to hide their movement as well as their equipment. And it's great for setting out in a field so you don't have to necessarily be next to a tree.
When hunting from a blind, here's a few tips. Place the blind along the edge of cover. Wear black when you're inside the blind, and don't open too many windows so those turkeys can see in. And don't forget the chair.
The ideal setup is comfortable, uses natural vegetation to hide the hunters, allows good viewing with shotgun range, and gives protection from the weather.
Hunters should use a tree at least as wide as their shoulders, and to help minimize movement, be in a semi-ready position with their off shoulder facing the direction of the turkey.
When hunting with a buddy, hunters can place themselves to cover different routes, or one hunter can act as the caller, being 15 to 20 yards behind, and one can serve as the gunner.
The keys to a successful setup include scouting, so you know that birds are in the area as well as how they're using the area, minimizing movement, especially at key times, calling, and patience. Turkey hunting doesn't have to be a sit and wait sport. You can take the hunt to the turkeys. The strategy of run and gun involves moving through your hunting area, trying to find gobblers that are active by calling to them. Now, it does require some stealth and some forethought, so you don't bump the birds you intend to hunt.
Run and gun is best used when trying to locate a responsive gobbler, you have lots of ground to cover, or you're hunting a new area.
When using this method, you're going to want to use loud, excited calls such as cuts and yelps. You may also be able to use non-turkey sounds such as a loud crow call to locate the toms.